Okay, so very good morning, afternoon, or evening to everyone present here. It's my pleasure to present the UNISEC India chapter report. The last report was presented about a year ago, and we've made a lot of progress in the years 2021 to 2022, as you might have already heard from Dr. Reddy and Dr. Mileswamy and Adurai. I will again be covering a few of the topics. I'll try to make it quick, as I was informed that we're a little short of time. So going forward. So history of UNISEC India and a few of the historic activities that we've done. This is something that I already presented in previous reports. So formation and official announcement of UNISEC India was done in the 6th UNISEC-Global meet at Strasbourg, France, post which we announced the World CanSat and Rocketry competition. We successfully launched the UnitySat mission, which is 0.3U satellites that has already been covered in previous presentations. Development of CanSat kits for educational institutions so that we can give institutions a first step into space engineering. Development of cost-effective VHF and UHF ground station systems that we've been able to deploy, or that we're planning and have been able to deploy some across India. Establishment of over 30 institutional chapters under UNISEC India to, of course, participate in UNISEC-Global activities and space engineering activities in India. So talking about the outreach that we have over the year of 2021-22, we've reached over 160 universities and engineering institutions through events conducted in collaboration with government organizations. We have signed MOUs with over 60 institutions towards the development of the student satellite mission, and many more MOUs are being signed. A lot of universities are coming into picture here and starting the development work for the mission. 7 payload competitions were conducted to identify suitable payloads for the upcoming missions. A lot of these payloads that we finalized from competitions are being used in the satellites that are going to be launched in the coming future. Numerous workshops and CanSat launch events were conducted in schools, colleges, and universities. Of course, talking about the 75 student satellite mission, the primary objective of the 75 student satellite mission was to set up an ecosystem in India for university participation in space tech. And this is something that lines up very well with UNISEC-Global's objectives. Of course, we are starting to create an ecosystem in India so that university students are able to start participating in space in comparison to how the ecosystem was a couple of years ago. If you see the statistics, when you compare India to a lot of other spacefaring nations, we see university involvement, student involvement was a little limited, but that is something that has started changing since 2020 due to the formation of a few different organizations like Indian Space Association and InSpace that are opening up windows, opening up doors for university participation, for private sector participation in space sector. So we're seeing a lot of startups coming up where we're seeing students who were initially not allowed to visit facilities within ISRO, visit labs, and learn in hands-on in the sector. We're seeing all of them getting an opportunity to now participate in this ecosystem that's being created. So of course, as already mentioned, the objective is to launch 75 satellites to commemorate the 75th year of Indian independence. And it is, of course, 2022, and hence the deadline for all of these satellites would be December of 2022. And of course, through this mission, we're trying to encourage startups and develop skills in the field of STEM to accelerate the growth in the space sector, not only in India, but also worldwide, because we're able to set up this ecosystem for Indian students to participate, as well as students from non-spacefaring nations as well. So as already mentioned, this is mostly supported because of the growth in private space sector, which we're seeing since 2020 due to the formation of a lot of organizations that are making it their primary goal to accelerate development in the private space sector. Talking about the media coverage that has been gained by the 75 student satellite mission and the activities that we've been doing, ITCA, TAC, UNISEC, India have been quoted in a lot of these media articles that we're seeing. The 75 satellites mission was also quoted by the Honorable Prime Minister of India in the UN General Assembly. You can see some of these media articles over here. A lot of them covering MOU signing activities, CanSat training activities, CanSat launch activities, and a lot of other training that has been happening across India that's part of the mission. Also, one noteworthy thing to put up over here is the collaboration that we've been able to establish with government school students. So as part of the satellite mission, we're also working with schools. Of course, school students ranging from middle school to high school usually don't get the opportunity to participate hands-on in such missions, but we are able to give them a course, give them enough learning material, adequate training for at least 200 students within just one state, as Karnataka. And we're hoping to be able to extend this to the other states in India so that we can bring in school students and strengthen that ecosystem from the grassroots. We're setting up nanosatellite centers in each of these schools and universities, establishing ground control stations capable of operating all the way from lower UHF till even all the way up to about 6 gigahertz of operation. So of course, right now we're setting up VHF, UHF antennas, but it's scalable to be able to communicate with any satellite that could be launched in the future as well. We also have an application that has been developed by TSC called the SatNav, which allows for satellite tracking and communication with the satellite. This is basically all of these ground stations that are being set up networked over cloud to be able to communicate straight from your phone. So you could be on the move and monitoring your satellite data, sending commands to the satellite, and so on. As already mentioned, there was a PMC, or Program Monitoring Committee, that was set up for the Center for Satellites mission. The PMC consists of heads of various departments within the Indian Space Research Organization. It's a clear indication of how ISRO has started opening the doors to university students, private organizations stepping into ISRO, starting to help and share knowledge that the Indian Space Organization has gained over the years to make sure that any mission that is taken up in the private sector or university or education sector is successful. Of course, the objective of the PMC is to monitor the progress of the upcoming mission in all aspects, technical and non-technical, be it component procurement, finances, be it launch opportunities, interfacing with the launch vehicle. Everything is covered and monitored very closely by the PMC. And of course, the PMC has been reviewing the progress of the 75 Satellites mission periodically. We've had meetings every fortnight since September, and that has helped with a lot of the activity that is happening in India. And the proposed platform for the 75 Satellites mission, given that there's going to be a lot of satellites associated with this mission and the short timeline that we're facing, it was necessary that we come up with a standardized platform on which all the students could develop their payloads and mount it and experiment with satellites. So a standard ONU platform, as shown over here in this image, was developed by the UNISEC India ITCA team, ITC-ATSC team. The configurations over here, we essentially have body-mounted solar panels. We have a complete attitude determination control system for active control. All the monitoring mechanisms required, and everything that we could possibly put within a ONU satellite is present, and everything that is required for a basic space mission has been provisioned in this ONU CubeSat. Some of the industry collaborations that we have are over here. We have about 15 to 20 different industries that we're working with very closely. Day by day, we are collaborating with more industries, signing more MOUs, and pulling them into this ecosystem that we're trying to create so that students are able to work with these industries. So ISRO has been working with a lot of these industries towards the development of satellites that have been built from the government side, from the defense side. And the very same industries that have been qualified for development of these satellites are also catering to the needs of the university and the education sector. So be it clean rooms, be it test facilities, thermovac, vibration testing, it's all made available and made available in a fashion that's very easy to access in comparison to what we had a couple of years ago. ITC 2022 was an event that is a flagship event organized by the Indian Technology Congress Association in partnership with TSC Technologies, UNISEC India, WCRC, World Federation of Engineering Organizations, Indian Institution of Product and Engineers, FKCCI, and IEEE. Loads of professional organizations associated in this kind of an event, brings professional bodies, brings knowledge, brings experience to the table. The students are able to interact with, private companies are able to interact with these organizations, gain the knowledge, network with the like-minded people, and accelerate the development of projects that we've been able to pick up. Going forward, we have conducted a lot of CANSAT to CubeSat training workshops. The reason we're picking up CANSATs over here is, of course, because all aspects of CubeSat development can also be done in a CANSAT. It's a terrestrial application, and that allows the students to understand the entire process associated with a regular satellite mission. And this is the first training that these students go through after which they step into the satellite development itself, of course, guided by all of the experts that are part of this mission. We've also have a lot of publications and resource material that has been made available, 12 publications, including a special edition Indo-Israel book on new space data. We also have a newsletter or a magazine that we have, a TIP magazine, that is published quarterly, that gives a complete overview of everything that is happening within the Indian space sector and all of the associated universities or private companies and all the activities that are happening in the space sector. We also have a publication called the CanSats to CubeSats by TSE, which essentially is a textbook for any student that wants to start building a satellite. We give the overview of a complete CanSat development process and show how that can be translated into a CubeSat or a nanosatellite. We were also able to find 48 plus patents related to space tech, all filed by students that were part of these, part of this mission and part of older missions that were launched from India. We also have a nanosatellite course that is being developed, that is being offered by an in-house developed learning management system, covering all aspects of nanosatellite design, development, and launch, all the way from the fundamentals till the licensing, frequency coordination, coordinating with IARU, WPC, and all of the other organizations that are associated with any launch. Any theory course that you get from an institution will only give you the engineering aspects. Will only tell you how to build the satellite, but doesn't give you the complete overview of how to get the satellite into orbit and do post-launch operations. So that's everything that we cover, so that any student that wants to learn how the process works is able to get everything they want in a single platform. And it can be delivered in a self-paced mode, or we're also offering this course to universities that can be delivered as part of the semester and could count towards credits and so on. So that's all for the UNISEC report. Thank you.